Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want.
Hi everyone. So today I thought we would look at what we're thinking about something, a situation, and really what's the emotions underneath that, and how do we get the heart and the mind to get back online with each other. Um, when we're trying to manifest something in our lives, it's all works within the electromagnetic field, and our thoughts are that electricity that is able to charge a situation. And our feelings are that magnetic component to our energy. It's how we really embody what we feel we want. And those two need to fuse together. So we can have too much electricity in a situation and too much magnetic energy in a situation. So, in simple terms, it's when we overthink something, or even if we are just too stuck in an energy. So we really want the flow between those two energies to be able to call in what it is that you're wanting to achieve. So let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, card number one, Wheel of Fortune, change, action. Okay, pile number two, the Tower, discovery, change, adjustments. And pile number three, oh, two cards, I'll take the top. The Empress, fertility, sensuality. And I will see you in the reading. Hi, pile one. So you picked the Wheel of Fortune, change and action. I almost want to say chance of action. Does sort of resemble a bit of a roulette table. Maybe you're trying to change your luck. This is your mental game. So are you strategically trying to optimize your winning streak? Are you are you thinking in your head only? Let's see, because this reading is about kind of getting coherence between your heart and your mind so that we can get your energy in its optimal level, right? So let's get a card for your heart space. Okay, honesty and communication. Now I'm going to get two oils today. For those of you who've watched me before, you know that I do essential oil through the reading to help clear the emotional component. But I'm actually going to get two oils, one for the mind, one for the heart, and see what happens. For the heart, for pile one. We get one for the heart, pile one. Okay. So mountain pepper, manifestation, imbues with empowerment and abundance. And the heart, gentle relief, inner child, childhood illness, childhood trauma. Don't need to take the words too literally, but it's a starting point. I'm actually also going to get I used to call them trigger cards. I just don't want that to be triggering, but it's really just information and clues that I created to help narrow down some of the ideas. Can I get one card for pile one for the mind? One card. Rebellious. And for the heart, one card for the heart. Okay, we'll take that one. Unorganized. Okay. So we have 32. Mountain pepper. And 41. Rosalina. It smells really nice. Okay, so I'm actually going to pull all the tarot cards out. So if you want to fast forward the reading, no problem. I will try and not say anything too profound and give you a chance to, be efficient with your time. So cards for the mental energy of pile one. We have Wheel of Fortune. I mean, can you imagine that? We have Eight of Cups. We have Three of Pentacles. We have Ace of Wands. We have Queen of Wands. And the bottom of the deck, the Tower. Interesting, since pile two's opening card will be the Tower. Okay, I'm going to pull the cards now for the heart chakra, or the heart emotions, just to see if there's any blocks or if there's any energy we can amplify. Six of Cups, Ace of Cups, Page of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and the Emperor. And bottom of the deck, Chariot. I have my mini deck if I want to clarify later, but let's get into your reading. Okay, so your reading is particularly interesting because look at you, you're bookmarked between the two opening cards of Wheel of Fortune. And these are two very different energies, right? Like I mentioned, it feels like a bit of a gamble on this side, and that this feels more like collaborative energy. Maybe it's collaborative energy within your own mind. You're no longer leaving it to chance because you've been manifesting something for a while, and it's probably taken you a little bit out of delivery of your manifestation. So you have all these big ideas, you're ready for a major shift in your life, and you've been waiting for it. You've actually been, on some level, really strategizing this manifestation, which is kind of that delicate balance, right? Where we actually almost need to have amnesia about our goals so that, we don't somehow bring resistance into it. I feel like with this rebellious clue, maybe you're trying to break the patterns of that manifestation world. It is a bit of a hype, right? And sometimes there's so many different strategies and options to take in manifestation. And you're kind of wondering, I know myself, I wonder too, like, if it's the power of the mind, then what difference does it make on how we choose to manifest it? The dogma and all the protocols around manifestation in my mind are just tools. I think it's really all about what you really believe to be true, and so it doesn't matter what strategy you take. But I feel like this blind gamble is not really the most aligned version for you, because even though it is that possibility of believing that miracles could happen without too much work, I feel like the cards are kind of asking you with your mental space right now is to almost just recalibrate the actual parts of the manifestation that you really strongly believe in. And I feel like it's kind of a collaboration between each version of yourself within that dream. Sometimes when we want to manifest, say, a successful business, for example, be mindful what a successful business looks like for you, because yeah, it could be about dollars and cents, it could be recognition, it could be serving, it could be a collaboration with others, it could just be being able to build your own dream at your own time. And I mean, even from your kitchen table, it's like just piecing together your own strategy and dream. But I feel like with this table here, it's almost acting like an altar or a grid, or, if anyone does any sort of work like that, it's where you're really putting your pieces in place to go, this really matters to me. And I feel like once you start doing that more intentionally with your energy, it cleans up that vibration. And obviously, that's when we want the momentum to arrive, right? So it's not that some of your strategies have been wrong. I just feel like you're upgrading and getting clear on what it is that you really want to bring in. And you've been walking away from some of those older strategies. You've taken the the wisdom along, and you're really starting to understand what you emotionally want to manifest more so than necessarily dollars and cents. And I feel like you're in this building energy, you're building it, you're collaborating with maybe yourself, your strategies, you're building the puzzle, you're trying to, whatever you've manifested or the ideas you've had in time in terms of your intention, I feel like you're actually figuring out what pieces of your puzzle you can fit together. Maybe you already have some assets in your business, whether that's digital assets, an online course, a strategy, a YouTube channel, whatever it is, you're just trying to build those pieces in together. And so that when you have this idea or strategy you want to play with, it's that you have some sort of passion for it. It's like the fuel of those strategies are abundant. And so the life force in those strategies operate at a higher level for you to keep building and creating more and more on your list of things you want to achieve. Like I feel like with this flame on her pen, it's kind of like a signal to say, you're on fire. It's continual. You're getting the downloads. You're in a happy space. You're you're understanding, which of the platform you want to, you know, amplify your own energy. And you're doing that with a much more relaxed version of what you've been doing lately, where you may have just been gambling and maybe even throwing some strategies against the wall. We kind of all do that sometimes. We think more solutions to the problem, and you might actually get the right hit. But I feel like with this tower card, you've actually had to build through failure, maybe, or you've had some strategies that have fallen by the wayside that haven't really built the platform you might have thought you might have been building, or the foundation of your business or your situation. But now you're doing it with, again, this kind of Queen of Wands energy, where you're in that creative space. You're understanding all the pieces that you actually want in place, and you're operating from that frequency. You're wanting to really listen to your own intuition and what's working for you and what's not working for you, and leaving what's not, obviously. I feel like you've got your heart in one of your hands, so it does kind of feel like it almost feels not connected, right? It just looks like an actual heart. I feel like it's the plumbing's there, the pieces are there, but there doesn't seem to be a life force in there. So we'll kind of see what it is to get that pump operating again, getting that flow back to your energy. We have honesty and communication. So I'm wondering, is there something you need to speak about? Are you emotionally unorganized? Are you, what is it about your story that's going to help resonate with the delivery of what it is you're trying to manifest? There's always an emotional component to our our life, right? Our it's a connectivity. We when we have a thought, we need to have a feeling behind it for the belief system to take place. It's like um, the friction of a match, it needs to ignite. And even though you have these ideas and possibilities flooding in, it's what is the heart saying to you right now? Which part of this story is going to get you the most traction? Because you have the chariot, so movement and victory is on its way. And I feel like maybe there's just this honest communication with yourself about what stories you're going to share. We all have a journey, we all have a past, we all have things that hit the mark, right, with us, whether it's inner child. There's something about your past that you are going to be not only healing by integrating all these energies. It's that it becomes abundant, and it's just picking that one option from the past to really alchemize it so that it gives you the space of giving. And I think when you calibrate this energy of what it is you're manifesting, that all the emotions that you may have been driving, maybe this unorganized energy, maybe you haven't stabilized your frequency in terms of the emotional components of your, say, your business or your situation, it's that it's left you feeling a little bit unfulfilled. So, yes, you have the passion and you have the ideas, but it's getting that traction, right? Of what is it that's going to fill your cup all the time and give you that space to then offer it in free flow. And you've been learning. You've been learning what strategies have worked and haven't worked in the past, and you have been growing it. And I think there's an element here of the exact fertilizer it needs to this energy, whatever this is for you. It's almost like it fills that watering can to the work that you've put in already, although it has been growing in a direction of growth and progress. There is an apathy around this progress at the moment. You're wondering why um, it hasn't spun its wheels faster. And it's just that basically, whatever it is you're delivering here, whichever message you're trying to speak, it's lacking that emotional component that is your unique point of reference. It's kind of like that conversion point where what it is you're delivering and that spark of emotional um, resonance with whoever it is that you're landing, that's what you're offering. So it might be not that you need to do more, it's that you need to feel more about what your value system or your mission or your strategy or what it is you're bringing into place. And then guess what happens? You get the Ember card where you actually peel back all of this rebellious energy or this leaving it to chance, or it's just becoming more grounded and stable, and you know when to act. It's like the Emperor comes to us when we want to prune back some things, where we want to just get laser focused on what we own of our story, and then that's when you start to deliver it. And I feel like that's when you integrate your mind and your heart space, and that's when you get traction. Let's clarify what is in this cup, because I feel like this is your entry point. It's that once you gain this knowledge and you leave all the other frequencies behind that doesn't give you that momentum, that's your fertilizer, that is your elixir, that is your magic secret sauce that you're then able to deliver. And maybe it is a business or you know whatever it is, this is when it starts to really, really grow. So, can we find out what is in number one's pile number one's cup? Okay, so we have to go back to the two drivers. You know, here's the reality of life, right? We always desire something when we've lacked it or we've experienced struggle with it. And it's almost like that's exactly, I always say that our flaw is usually the architecture for our strength. And I feel like that's what you just need to really focus in on is what has been your driver up until this point. And instead of trying to manifest it better, it's like actually using that as the medicine to, it's like the antivenom to the poison. So whatever it is that you are struggling to promote, there is something about this story in your past that is your driver. And once you know what your driver is, that's when you actually start to ignite it and move it passionately along with great force. And yeah, I feel like this page of, Knight of Wands is the moment when you have the idea and you have the power to deliver it. It's like this wand now becomes a bit of a wick, and it's like igniting it. And once it burns into what it is you're trying to manifest with pure intention and decluttered and more organized, it's like funneling your vision into, maybe write it down. I feel like there is a clue there, right? With the notepad and the book, and getting really clear on specific goals. But once you emotionally connect to it, that's when this fuse runs out and it starts to ignite it into reality. There's something there about being your own spark of truth and passion and purpose. Our history is always the clue to our future, for good and for bad. So it's just about how do you bring that belief system up into the light. Okay, let's get two final cards to give you some advice to close out the reading. So we'll get one for the mental space, and we're going to get roomy advice for the heart. Well, too many. We'll take this one. Okay. For success, attitude is equally as important as ability. And I think that's when you lock into this attitude, when you own it and you own your story and you just deliver it with such charisma. And I feel like you definitely have the ability. You've definitely been experiencing that. That's why you're sitting not only comfortably on your tower moment, but you definitely have the pieces in place, like I said before. But it's just, how do you get the attitude now? It's like, how do you bring in this Knight of Wands energy? And then the heart is a little daily guidance to keep you inspired. Open your heart and let those positive suggestions flow into your world. Keep these cards by your bedside or on your desk and watch your life change for the better. This is actually the introduction card to the deck, but it's actually perfect because every now and again, every day, I do this daily anyway, we need to flood our heart with our truest story, because I feel like the heart is that clearance center for everything else to become a little bit better. And that's when your life changes, when you start to embody and let the waters run clear of some of the disorganized thinking or feeling. So, yeah, you're bringing in some sort of attitude that's going to hold the power of which you own and deliver it. You're definitely in good shape, you're in good heart shape, and it's really just about getting that life force pumping through. And I think it's something to do with that one origin story, or that one piece of your puzzle that you've been trying to build and correct and solve, which has now become your mission. And now to spark life into it, it's just bringing your story through it. So I hope this has helped, Pile One. And if you could like the video, and hopefully see you next time. Thanks a million.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Okay, hi Pile 2. So let's have a look. You've got the Tower and discovery, change, and adjustments. I feel like you're looking up, right? You're looking to see possibility. Maybe you're feeling like some of your feels like it's on a wonky leg, right? There's a little piece here of the structure missing. But let's see. So we're going to get to that one. Is going to represent your mental space, your mind. Where's your mind at? We're going to get one for your heart space. And I'm actually going to pull all of the cards out first. So If you would like to fast forward the video, no problem. I will try not say anything too profound in the meantime. Just be mindful of your time. Trust the universe. I'm going to get 2 oils today. And for those of you who've watched me before, I use the oils to tap into the emotional component and to clear any energy that needs clearing. And I'm going to get 2 today, one for the mind, one for the heart. Okay, the mind and the heart. Okay, thank you. Okay, juniper berry purified, dislodges, detoxifies, disperses negativity, fear, shackles, and pain. And then we've got Ravintasara, psychic protection. Ooh, detach the need to be a psychic sponge. Interesting when it's paired with trust the universe. Okay. I'm actually going to add 2 more cards. These are just like little trigger cards or clue cards that I created. One for the mental, thank you. There's a couple there. Let's take the top 2. Okay, lack of confidence, imitating others. Okay, and let's get tarot. What we're really trying to achieve here is to get coherence, right? To get our mind and our heart in balance so that we can gain traction, right? So you have 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, wow, 8 of Wands, and the bottom of the deck is Page of Pentacles. So you are definitely in your mind. Okay. Let's get cards for your heart. Start with this one, the Emperor, Justice, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, King of Cups, Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and bottom of the deck is 6 of Swords. And I have a little mini deck to clarify. Wow, it's really interesting that the 2 oils that you got, one was to purify and dislodge negativity, fear, shackles, and pain, and then the second one was about psychic protection. And with all of this sword energy, wow, that's a lot piled too. So I'm wondering if maybe, and if you're allowing other people's thoughts penetrate your mind too much, maybe there's a little bit too much of other people's opinions integrating into your life, and that can also be subconscious too. Sometimes we can either sabotage ourselves, lock ourselves up in our own pattern, which causes a lot of lack of confidence here. I feel like this is what this 3 of Sword energy feels like to me. It's like a lack of confidence. And there could be a couple of reasons for this. Couple of reasons is that, when you have a tower moment particularly, there is self-discovery that comes with that, right? and there's this need to change and implement new things in our life. And we have to get out of that mental pain of it all, right? And I think that's why the Four of Swords is here. It's like indicating to you to rebalance, recalibrate, and reconfigure what it is that you need to do. Your heart is like bright as a button. Like, I love your heart energy. And I feel like that's why you're feeling so disconnected at the moment. And psychic protection can also mean that there is, you know, more negative force that is around your energy field. I don't want to go too much into that in case people don't have the tools to, um, or the awareness around darker forces. But the reality of the situation is we just need to, with pure intention, claim our energy space back. And we can do that in all sorts of ways. But first of all, even just by listening to this reading, you've already elevated your frequency to subconsciously or consciously take your power back. And I think when we've been wrapped up in some of other people's opinions of our life or thoughts, or and sometimes we can integrate and be the psychic sponge too, like especially with imitating others. It could be the sense that you're almost listening to too much of that negativity, that you're almost believing it to be, and that's what's driving you. If you flip that switch though, and if you looked at people that you admire and where they feel confident and have their power, and you can feel that and resonate that, you're just at the same frequency of being able to claim that back for yourself. So let's talk about your heart or your emotions, because I feel like the universe has your back, and it's reminding you the force or the field of energy and power and magic that you hold. You've got Justice and Emperor. They're very strong energies in the tarot, right? And it's bringing yourself back into balance and starting owning the parts of yourself that you have allowed to not fully be activated or to continue to be activated. I feel like you're at this space now where you're like, I'm actually ready to recenter. You're doing the work. You've already had awareness of that. I think tower moments, especially when they're unexpected or expected, they're the perfect first step of getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. And sometimes that gets pushed upon us, or either way, you still have the power to claim that moment back in your life and decide how you want to move forward, because you're ready to plant new options, new dreams. You're ready to start again. You're ready to get back on the horse. You're ready to water new seeds of growth and manifestation. You're knowing now some of those lessons, and you know this energy is not working for you. Like, you're actually sick of this energy yourself. But look at this Eight of Wands. It's like, once you surrender to this a story, this acceptance of where you're at and the pain and lack of confidence that it's caused you, is that you then surrender. And when you surrender, that is the moment when your higher self reintegrates with your energy and reminds you of who you instinctively, intrinsically are. And we all forget sometimes. But really, this is who you are underneath all of that. You're such a strong, balanced, fair powerhouse. You see optimism and potential around you. In fact, you're more likely to offer it to others than potentially offer it to yourself. And this is why some of this energy can be aimed at you, I guess. But it's remembering to nurture yourself first and to build your dreams first. And I think that's where you're now recalibrating your energy. You're ready to do the self-care, and you're ready to take it slow if you have to, but you're definitely moving away from all of this sword energy that is just so draining, and it's really getting in the way of what it is that you're trying to manifest. But The universe has your back. You completely support it. And the reason I want to say that is we always are number one, but humans, we forget. But this is all of your coding, your energy, resonance. This is who you are. You're such a abundant, dynamic being. And that when you put, I guess, an energy boundary or protection, I would definitely be doing some protection work right now, even if it just means that you're vocalizing your intention to remove any disturbance from your field that you're consciously or unconsciously aware of that's not for your highest good. Because sometimes we need that heavy tower moment to come through into our reality and start spinning all of the debris out of it, right? So it's always a divine intervention, even though it can feel really heavy. But trust the universe and remember what you're building underneath all of that, because what you're building is so strong and abundant. It's already in pentacle form. So you have a lot of tools and resources within you to be able to get forward motion and leave all of this behind you. Let's see what this Ace of Pentacles is, because I feel like this is what your possibility is, your hope, your dream. Maybe you've forgotten about it. I almost feel like it's echoed in this tower moment, that whatever this piece that's either being taken out for you so that this crumbles and capsizes, that's what you're taking with you from the situation. So you're moving away from all of that mental energy, and the universe has almost taken this piece out of your story, and that's the only thing you get to take with you, and it's for your highest good. And so whatever it is that you're now remembering and you're planting and growing, it's going to be abundant and it's going to multiply. So let's see if we can get some clarity for pile 2 on what is this piece that you've been left with. What is this one piece that pile 3 have been left with? Whoa. More swords. But look, you've reached the ending of it. You've got the full set. It's like enough already. You're done. And I think you're done because you've learned all that there has to be learned in that old story of yours. And this winning at all costs, and or this fear of failure, or this fear of this lack of confidence that you think you were never going to get out of. You felt like the odds were always against you. I feel like you're ready to pick up your own sword and your own lessons now, and you've reached higher ground. You're taking your power back. You're no longer allowing other people to throw mental doubt your way. I feel like you're ready to look for a new way of being, and you're ready to turn the page on all of that mental chaos. So whatever it is, it's like you've taken the high road somewhere along the line, and it's that one thing that keeps dangling that carrot in front of you, that nugget of wisdom that keeps getting you to build your strength and start calibrating your emotions and bringing it into tangible steps forward. So, whatever that lesson was learned in that crazy, painful story, you're leaving it behind and you're taking the power of the lesson with you. And now you're like, done. I'm looking for new horizons on the way. And I'm recalibrating with my energy, and I'm co creating with the universe. And I'm going to remember that because I already know it. And I may have forgotten for a while, but I'm back. Let's get two final messages to close out the reading. One for the mind, one for the heart. One for the mind, okay. And some wisdom from Rumi for the heart, for pile 2. Okay, we have, sometimes you need to remember you are just one human person, not a super robot wizard, and that's okay. And we have, I am a mountain, you call, I echo. Yeah, you know, it's true. We can endure so much, right? We have this amazing ability to endure so much pain when it's not always necessary and not always ours. And we feel like we can't almost surrender to that pain because we think we might lose our shit. But the real reason, or the real solution in all of that, is that when you do surrender and remember that you are just one person, and you let go of this burden or this struggle to keep maintaining the bullshit, that's when you start to reintegrate who you are. And that's when you start talking to your higher self. I feel like this is this echo of, you know, not only is your higher self always nudging you along, but you have the power of the universe behind you. And you just need to remember the call, whether it's meditating, getting back into nature, refertilizing your dream. But really, I feel like you have been pulling these daggers out. And I think that you've completed this cycle, which is great news, because there's nothing like a rebuild after a tower moment. And you would have elevated yourself into a brand new frequency and a much stronger resistance to the BS. So pile number 2, that's your reading. And yeah, you're on your way. You're on your way. Trust that, okay? You're definitely moving away from all of that. And I will see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Okay, hi pile 3. So you picked Empress. Okay, so something's on the way, I would presume. So let's see what this is about. So we're trying to get a blend of your mental and emotional self so that you can get traction, right? We need those two moments to become aligned. And it's all good having thoughts, but if you don't have the emotion or the empowerment behind it, it's very hard to get traction. So let's see what's happening in your heart or emotional self. Okay, blessings and abundance. Okay. Also, I'm going to actually be pulling a lot of cards out. So if you want to fast forward this part, it's up to yourself. I'll try and not say anything too profound. And we're going to get the essential oils. We're going to get 2 today, one for the mind, one for the heart. See what's going on there. So can we get one for the mind for pile 3? Okay, thank you. And for the heart, thank you. Heart delight for the heart, love it. And clary sage for vision. Oh my god, perfect, right? Perfect. Vision and heart, mind and heart, perfect. I'm also going to pull out some little clue cards or trigger cards. One for the mind, one for the heart. Thank you. So we have not feeling connected, other people's fault. Okay, number 7 for clary sage, and 31 for Melissa. Pull the tarot out. So What is happening in pile three's mind right now? Some wisdom, some vision even. What is happening in pile three that they need to hear? Okay, Four of Wands, Two of Swords, Crown of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups. Move these along a bit. Okay, and the heart for pile three. The Star, love it. Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and bottom of the deck, the Tower. Wow, the Tower has appeared in every reading. And I have my mini tarot in case I want to clarify anything. Raises the spirit, reviving the mind, and easing confusion. Other people's fault. We have Melissa, Heart Delight, comforts the heart, mind, and soul when distressed, depressed, or in shock, trauma, not feeling connected. So what's interesting about your reading is you've got the Empress and Blessings and Abundance, and that's almost like the same energy, right? And this reading could be read two ways, but I think ultimately they're one and the same. And if they are even the exact two things, they kind of blend into each other in the end. Now, the one version of the story is if you are literally pregnant and it's something you're celebrating, it's something you want, but there's a part of you that is blocked between feeling you have to choose a path now. Especially if you're working or if you're entrepreneur or you're in business or a career person or professional, and your confidence in your identity is all within that, and it's something you embrace, it's something you've built, it's something you've been owning for a long time. It's who you resonate the most with. And you actually feel a little bit conflicted by the fact that either now you're not sure how this new shift, perhaps it is a literal pregnancy, um, it's how it's going to change your identity, and who are you going to have to become or defend. you know I think there is there's a segment of women who sometimes have some guilt around wanting to be more than just the mother archetype, right? And but then there's that guilt or shame that you feel you have to choose to do one well, and one gets negated, or whichever scenario it is. I feel like you're going to have to be a leader in that story for yourself, and you're just trying to figure out how to do that in your mental game. In your emotional game, it feels like you're playing catch up. You're not fully connected to the story right yet, even though you want it. There's an emotional part of the story that's not integrated, and there's a part of you that needs to heal these two versions of yourself. It's like, how do you embrace both scenarios of how do you alchemize the story? How do you see yourself in these scenarios? I even feel like that looks like a stalk, so there might be definitely a part of this um, story that's going to hit with the pregnancy version of the story. But And so you feel a bit worn out by this conflict all the time of, first of all, you do want this. It's a heart delight. You want this. You've been working for this, and now that it's arrived, you're kind of fatigued in your mind by how it's all going to work out. You want to celebrate and maintain this celebration within your family, but there is some maybe even hidden emotions that you're probably not really being honest with yourself or whoever may be impacted in this story with you. That's okay. You get to alchemize those feelings in the right time and deliver them at the right time. I think what you might not be seeing is that this brand new delivery of something, this brand new beginning, is actually bigger and more abundant in terms of emotional fulfillment than you once or you might be afraid of might not come to fruition. But it is that balance between your heart's delight and your work, because I feel like your work is a huge part of who you are. It is your identity, and it's actually part of the impact you're here to make. That's why you're so confident and abundant at it, and that's why it means so much to you. You probably maybe are a creator, a change maker, whatever your job that you do, it matters. It matters not just to you, but people outside of you. And so you feel like there's a choice that needs to be made. And I think that that's not the only way to look at it. I'm really interested in these two cards because they're like the opposite of two extremes. And they're actually sitting on, you would think the emotional component would be in the heart space, and the tower moment would be that mental anxiety or whatever. I actually think what's happening is it's highlighting to you that whatever is ending in this version of the story that you think is ending, where you might be losing your crown, losing your identity, or a lot of things will have to be sacrificed along the way, it's that it actually provides you with the most emotional fulfillment, and you didn't see that coming. There was a part of your story that couldn't realize that there was no choice to be made, that they're all parts of you, and that when you integrate all the parts of you and your story, that's when the light shines brighter. It turns up the brightness of your story. So it's not that you have to choose one extreme version of your story. It's that when you integrate all of those stories, that's there's two parts of you that, or multiple parts of you that get embraced. They balance out the person that you are because you're so much more in your potential than you realize. It's that one scenario doesn't deplete the other. It's that they both fuse together and become even more abundant and more blessed and more fertile and more sensual. And you didn't expect that. That's what you couldn't see because I think when if it's the mother story, I think it's one of those stories you don't know until you're in the club. um, you don't see the possibility within it. I almost feel like the story of maybe even your story of having a baby or the lessons you get from that scenario really impacts your work on some level. It gives your work even deeper meaning. It's like the Nine of Pentacles in traditional tarot. It's kind of like the lady in waiting to the Empress. It's like the one kind of little step away from it. And I feel like when you bring that energy, that's when you get full Ten of Pentacle energy. It's like yeah, you're even more of yourself than you were ever before. And I think that is a template for whichever scenario you've come to this reading about, whatever this new chapter in your life that you're not sure about, but it's coming your way. Maybe it is you starting a business and leaving a paid job. Um, it's that whatever fulfillment it brings into you, even though you think there might be hardship or you can't really see a clear vision of what it is, it's that you completely build a brand new platform in which to operate from that you no longer miss or regret or feel lack of a paid job or the stability of a paid job. Is that it just adds so much more to your life. And even if there is times of hardship or where you need to make strategic plans and it might even feel a bit burdensome, the reality is you have the ability to alchemize and balance into such an amazing project that delivers to yourself financially and for others' benefit as well. Maybe just let go of any narrative that you have in your head that might not belong to yourself. You get to do it on your terms. You can break the mold of traditions. You can carve out a piece of the life that you want and blend all aspects of it. You get to choose all the ingredients you put into your life. And when you hold it in that energetic framework, that's when it will start to burn bright. And that's when things start coming your way. And that's why it feels so fulfilling and abundant. So I feel like if this is a literal pregnancy, the emotional fulfillment that you haven't seen coming will actually flow into your physical identity and financial abundance. There's like a it's it feeds it somehow. It doesn't take away, which is a lot of our human fears, right? When you have a new chapter, we start to go into fear and doubt and can I afford this and will I have that and will I have enough and how am I going to do this and all of that. And also vice versa, that if you're moving into a business of your own, that the financial fear that you had around doing that will be diminished by the possibility of your energy source being so tapped in that you'll be able to create the world you're looking for, the reality you're working for. What is the scenario that pile three most need? What's that one message they really need to calibrate this reading? Because there is two different storylines here. Is there a message that will hit home the most? Whoa. You have the Sun, you have the Hierophant, and you have the King of Swords. Look, you have nothing to worry about. It's not only bringing so much joy and potential, and it's going to turn the lights up in your life so blindingly beautiful, with full of possibility. It's also that you are connected to not only a higher frequency, but it's very stable and committed. So I feel like you are not going to be on the wrong track at all, and that you have a support system that you know that it's part of your story, it's part of your bigger evolution of yourself, and that you have the logical clarity and wisdom to take the driving seat of it, whichever scenario that you're stepping into. It's that you have full control and power over the decisions you make, and you do not need to fit into other people's predetermined versions of that with their fears and doubts, and that you just really, 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 really need to reconnect to your emotional embodiment of the dreams that you've dreamed. And it's okay to say goodbye to past stories. And that if you've been feeling disappointment recently or not sure, then now is your message to let it go. Because, change is inevitable, but it's always bigger and better than we think it's going to be, even if it feels hard sometimes. We all have that innate knowing that is what's for us won't go past us. So, yeah, something's new is coming, something big is coming, something scary is coming, and it's all good and it's all perfect. And it's divinely committed. It's definitely part of your path. There's no mistake about that. So let's get two more cards to close out the reading, one for your mental space and a card from Rumi for advice of the heart. Okay, you will find that it is necessary to let things go simply for the reason that they are heavy. Yes. It's hard to say goodbye to your old life, especially if you love it. But, well, there's parts of it that you've loved, but that's okay because your new life is so much more exciting than you can imagine right now. In the House of Lovers, the music never stops. The walls are made of songs and the floor dances. Yeah, like it's just, don't worry. You've got so much greatness coming your way, so much joy that you can't really fully comprehend right now. And it's destined. I'm repeating myself, but it's your story, Pile 3, and there is nothing to fear but full potential and possibility. And allow your old chapters to dismantle. You've outgrown them. Your dreams got bigger. And so now just let your heart grow bigger around that new dream. Okay, thanks, Pile 3. If you would like to like the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a million.
Did you ever feel like it was too late or time's running out or speeding up and you're wondering, wait a minute, I've got things to say, things to do, things to be? Maybe you need help finding your voice, your vision. I strongly believe we're all here for a reason, and it's our job to figure that out. I know the drain and the dread of not fully knowing what you want to do with your life. I was 40 when I figured that out. We all have blind spots, blocks, or these invisible traps that we keep falling down. But the truth is, you're always supported by an invisible net of possibility. We're always in perpetual flow. We always need to reconnect to our dream and line up with the frequency of that. Magnetic Clarity is a self-paced, self-guided toolbox to help find who you are, what you want, and why you want it. And if you're afraid to free fall into the potential of who you are, the alternative is free falling into old habits again and again and again. Choose the leverage you want to play with and embrace the impact you're here to create. Take a sneak peek at Magnetic Clarity. It's the perfect compass to finding your way. Head over to my homepage at martinacallahan.com, or I will also leave links wherever you're watching or listening.